We are excited to have a visit here from the duo Robin and Bob tonight, and they're going to play a couple of songs in the studio, also play a couple of cuts from their new CD called Leave On. We want to welcome to the program for the first time, introducing ourselves to Robin Matthews. Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Good to have you here tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And a return visit from Mr. Bob Giacometti. Did I say that right, Bob? It's been a couple of years.
Giacometti, yes.
Giacometti. I should have asked you that beforehand. Usually do that, but I got carried away because we were having so much fun in the studio getting ready, and you actually have a banjo and your guitar in hand. And the last time Bob Giacometti was here, you were with your band Shannon and the Merger.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. It's been a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, it's been probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Shannon and the Merger still at it?
Yep, we're still at it.
Good. So you got a little collaboration now with Robin Matthews that has come together within the last couple of years since we last talked, I believe.
Yes, yep. We've been together a little over 2 years.
Okay. Well, Robin, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little musical background.
Well, I've sang since I was a little girl, but I mainly just always sang in church and in the car and in the shower. And just in the last few years, Bob and we actually met at church, and we were on the worship team together. And then when we started kind of collaborating on some stuff at church, we realized we really enjoyed working together and decided to do it outside of church. And so we've been together ever since, and it's been a very cool ride so far.
That's awesome. So outside of maybe doing some praise music, you'd never been on stage as a music performer before?
No.
So
no.
This is something new for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So obviously, Bob, there was a vibe there and similarity in maybe music tastes?
Yeah, we have a very, very common ground as far as the music we like. We especially like things like Janis Joplin. That's kind of like our connection point. And a variety of other things, but mainly Janis Joplin kind of brought us together.
That's cool. Yeah. Had you been discussing that? I mean, how did that vibe come by, or was it just the style that kind of brought it out?
I think it was the style, bluesy, but yet we do folk stuff, some old-timey country stuff, rock stuff, classic rock. So just our tastes are very similar, and we're very good at working together.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, and of course, Bob, you've been playing guitar for a lot of years, been involved in a number of different bands over the years.
Yes.
Yeah. Refresh the listeners a little bit, some of the things you've done in the past and what got you involved in music.
I played in country bands, rock bands. I was in a band called Nancy McKean Blues Machine. We did mostly blues stuff. That's how I met Utah, actually.
Yeah.
And then Shannon and the Merger is more of a pop rock thing. I've been doing this probably for 30 years.
Wow. Is the Nancy McKean thing still going nowadays? Because that's one of the first bands that I think we've played on this show.
Yeah, you did play some of our stuff, definitely. Yeah, Nancy had a couple kids, so she's been out of the business for a while. She went to nursing school, so she just graduated from there. So right now our schedule's pretty busy.
Yeah, I bet it is.
But we still converse occasionally and text back and forth.
Yeah. And there's always time for reunions down the road, right?
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, 'cause as soon as you said that, I was like, wow, that's, we've been doing this show, I think, for 7 years now. And that was one of the bands that first jumped out at us.
Yep.
So, good stuff. So when you sat down and started to do this, was there an intent that you were going to write material together and produce an album, or was it just, let's go perform and see what happens?
It was mostly like, Robin's husband's a pastor at a Baptist church in Claysville, so it's like we'd meet at the church to work on songs for the church, and it's like, oh, do you like this song? And we'd start playing them there, and we recorded some videos and stuff like right there in the church. It's like, hey, this is pretty good. We ought to take this on the road. So then we started playing out a lot of wineries and places like that. And then it's like, hey, we should write some songs. So she had some ideas for some lyrics. I had some ideas for some lyrics and some music, and we just started putting things together.
Wow. So a lot has happened in that 2 years' time.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Had you ever written a song before, Robin?
I used to write poetry when I was younger.
Okay.
But I never really did much with it. But just lately, it's interesting to see how the musical process works, and then once you start kind of thinking about writing songs, it always happens right after I get really comfortable in bed.
Yeah.
And then something will come to me, and I'll have to get up and start
the
writing it
inspiration.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been neat to see how it happens.
So did you write all of the lyrics for the material?
Not necessarily.
no?
No,
No,
he
you-
would write some songs, I would write some songs, then
Okay.
we'd come together and we'd work on them. And it's neat to see how, you know, I might have something completely different in my head, and by the time it's done, it's something totally different. I really have enjoyed watching, you know, each song is like a, you know, a child, and it just kind of grows, and it's very neat to see how that happens.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated how that process works for people that write music like that. And so every once in a while, a lyrical inspiration would come to you, and you'd jot it down, and Bob would come in with a lick, and everything came together. Kind of that fashion.
Yeah, we have one song on there called One Classy Broad, and I think Robin's original intent for it was to be a blues song. It ended up being like a three-quarter waltz, country waltz. So I don't know how all that happened, but it did. And on the recording, we got a steel guitar player playing on it, and it turned into a country song. I'm not sure how that all transpired, but
Yeah.
That's pretty cool stuff.
we tend to bring out the creativity in one another, I think.
Yeah.
And we work easily together. So
And obviously that's why the collaboration happened, because
Right.
you struck that chord like that per
Yeah.
se, and here it is.
People are always surprised to hear that we've only been working together for just a few years, because they think we've been working together for 20 years, and it's only been a few years.
people always say, "Are you two married?" And we say, "Yes, but not to each other."
Neat stuff. Robin and Bob, and that's what you decided to go with. It's
Yeah.
just going to be the first names as the collaboration and duo. You have a new CD called Leave On. You're actually going to play the title track of that as our first cut here in the studio. And this has something very unique. I guess, you know, you could say you have a couple of different unique facets on each of the different songs. But Robin, you actually play a kazoo.
I do.
And-
Took many years of lessons.
What was the thought process on the kazoo? How did that get incorporated into the song? I'm
I
curious.
bought it for her and delivered it to her and said, "We
Yes.
should use this."
Yep, that's about how it
It took
happened.
some convincing, but it's become quite popular.
Yes.
That's cool.
People ask for the kazoo, so
Yeah.
The other day when we were playing, one of the workers at where we were at came up and delivered a note to me in the middle of the song, and it said, "I have a fever. I need more kazoo."
Well, there's cowbell and there's kazoo.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so you taught yourself how to do this, a little instruction through Bob, and never played a kazoo before?
Probably not since I was about 5.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he kind.
I said, "Just don't blow in it, hum."
Yeah.
Yeah, it did take a second. I was like, oh yeah,
And
got a hum.
and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Now I'm a professional.
All
so,
right.
Yeah,
So more kazoo, we say.
that's right.
Well, let's hear it here. This is Robin and Bob and their song Leave On. It's the title track to the CD, and we'll talk more with them and about the CD and where you can find it and them here tonight on the Grassroots Show. It's Robin and Bob on the Rock Station 97.7.
Leave on, golden boy, go ahead and check the mail. The tide has come and spit you out like Jonah in that whale. Leave on, childish one, my eyes have seen the light. The scares are gone, the time's been wrong, I'm tired of this fight. Leave on, boy, feel me stomp and hear me shout. Leave on, boy, and let me break you out. Leave on, boy, feel me stomp and hear me shout. Leave on, boy, and let me break you out. Leave on, heart of mine, you're not welcome here no more. The curtain fell, if you can't tell, you're gonna have to go. Leave on, man, child, you going
you'll be my Bonnie. We'll walk the line to the crime and not the time.
I'll be your June.
I'll be your Johnny. If I was a poet, you would be my muse. If I was a drunkard, you would be my booze. If I was a Jack, you would be my Jill. If I was sick, you would be my pill.
I'll be your June if you'll be my Johnny.
I'll be your Clyde if you'll be my Bonnie. We'll walk the line to the crime and not the time.
I'll be your June.
I'll be your Johnny.
If I was an addict, you would be my drug. If I was sad, you would be my hug. If I was a bee, you would be my honey. If I was Cher, you would be my sunny. You would be the song I write. You would be the fire I light.
You would be the fight I fight. You would be my wrong made right.
I'll be your June if you'll be my Johnny.
I'll be your Clyde if you'll be my Bonnie. We'll walk the line to the crime and not the time.
I'll be your June.
I'll be your Johnny. If I was a guitar, you would be my strings.
If I was a bird, you would be my wings.
If I was night, you would be my day.
If I was a potter, you would be my clay. I'll be your June if you'll be my Johnny.
I'll be your Clyde if you'll be my Bonnie. We'll walk the line to the crime and not the time.
I'll be your June.
I'll be your Johnny. Walk the line to the crime and not the time.
I'll be your June.
I'll be your Johnny.
We're back here on the Grassroots Show once again, the Rock Station 97.7, streaming as well, 977rocks.com, so you can pick us up anywhere you go. Welcoming back Robin and Bob. We just heard a song called I'll Be that is from their new CD called Leave On, and give us a little background of I'll Be on that particular song. That actually features somebody on the upright bass?
Yes, yep. Andy Gregg plays upright bass on that. We wanted to get like a real bluegrassy country feel to it.
Okay.
So we brought Andy in to play upright bass on that.
Now, how did you come across Andy? Is he a local musician as
Yeah,
well?
he's from the Washington, PA area where we're from, and I network with a lot of musicians. So when we started this project, it's like it was going to be just Robin and I, and it's like we started getting ideas. It's like, well, we could use this on this song, this on that song. The guy that produced the CD is a drummer, so we had him play drums. I played guitar and bass, and then we brought some guests in. But we brought Andy in to play the upright bass.
Now, was that another song? It was neat to hear the story, how and one intention came through. How did that song come to be? Again, the song I'll Be.
I just had this idea to kind of the relationship between people like Johnny Cash and June Carter, Bonnie and Clyde, and I kind of married those together in the lyrics. And then it seemed like a bluegrassy kind of feel to it, so that's the kind of song we made. And then, I mean, Robin put her spin on everything.
It seems like this is one of the favorite songs for people when they listen to the CD.
Yeah. That's awesome. And, of course, right before that, we heard the live cut of Leave On. And the beautiful vocals, Robin. You have a great talent there, and you've learned that kazoo very well. Yeah.
Thanks.
Great sounding stuff. And again, that was the title track. So now you mentioned, where did you record the CD?
It was at a place called Pink Flamingo Studios, and it's in Monongahela. And a friend of ours, Josh Gerba, has the studio there. We actually met him through church as well. He, like I said, he's a drummer. He's a good drummer, played drums on the CD, and he's real easy to work with. Good friend.
That's cool. And so you've primarily the three of you being featured on these songs, but you've had these special guests come in.
Right.
For example, you have a saxophone player, keyboard player on one pedal. You mentioned the pedal steel guitar, all incorporated on different songs.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where can people find the CD? It's called Leave On. Robin and Bob. We're talking to Robin Matthews and Bob Giacometti here tonight on the show. You guys always have an open mic night too.
Yes. The CD, you can find it on CD Baby, as well as Amazon, iTunes. It's available just about everywhere. Spotify. Yeah, we do an open mic every Wednesday at a place called Valentours in McDonald, PA. It's an Italian restaurant, family-friendly, non-smoking. Bring the kids, everybody's welcome, and we have all levels and genres play there. It's primarily acoustic because it is a restaurant, and there are neighbors that live upstairs, so we don't get real loud, but we've had a really good turnout for it every Wednesday.
That's awesome. What time period do you run that?
5:30 to 8 p.m.
Okay, so pretty extended, but nice timing. It seems to be just more and more popular. I mean, you mentioned some of the wine places and craft beer places where they love to have a little acoustic music in the background. I mean, that has really, I think, opened up some opportunities for local musicians.
Definitely a lot of wineries, breweries. We still do some bars and clubs, but a lot of wineries and breweries.
Yeah, that's great, and it gives the open mic opportunities. Really gives everybody an opportunity,
right.
Whether you're a well-versed musician or somebody that's just getting introduced to the craft, right, Robin?
Right. There's a woman who comes almost every Wednesday now, and she's 80, and she brings her guitar, and she is fantastic. I just feel like she's like the best hidden secret in McDonald, because she lives right there in McDonald.
She writes songs, original songs. We have a girl that comes at 16. We have a woman that comes at 80, and everybody in between.
How about that? And this older woman, she hasn't performed out. This is just kind of her thing, or
she sings in her choir at church.
Yeah.
So same, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think this has really rejuvenated her musically. That she did a lot of this when she was younger, and kind of maybe took a little hiatus. But now she's coming out of her shell again, and she's so talented.
Wow,
Really good voice, plays guitar well. Writes songs well. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's neat to see how all the singers and musicians really encourage one another. So some are coming up that have never performed anywhere before, and the ones who maybe are more seasoned really come together and encourage, and then you'll see that person back again the next week with more, more oomph, and they're just so excited to perform.
Yeah.
So it's really been an exciting experience.
So how long have you been doing that? That open mic?
We've been doing that probably about 3 months now.
Okay, so it's gone over very, very well.
Yeah, and it's kind of an indefinite thing. We're just going to keep doing it. People
Until it runs dry.
Right, people are into it. We had a guy come 3 or 4 weeks ago. He had never sung. He doesn't play an instrument, but he wrote a song and got up and sang it a cappella.
Wow.
That took a lot of guts,
Yeah.
and it was very good too. So there are a lot of talented people. I mean,
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Very cool. Where can people find you out and about? Can they follow you on social media? Do you have a page for Robin and Bob?
Yes, we have a Facebook page. It's just Robin and Bob PA, and our full schedule's on there. We have probably 40 or 50 shows booked through the rest of the year.
That's awesome. So this is really something that has kind of emerged and really kind of blossomed for both of you.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. It's I think it's timing. I mean, it was just that market kind of started when we started. It seemed like.
Yeah.
And I always tell Robin, more and more places are going to like an acoustic thing. People tend to they don't want to be overpowered by music. They want to be able to chat, have a glass of wine and socialize, but still have music playing.
Yeah, yeah. And I've seen the response grow too with that. So many times it just when we began this show, we were in a kind of a funk in our area, especially, and I haven't been well versed in Washington County and what's happening down your way. Maybe there's the same kind of vibe, but everybody was entrenched in their phones, and if there was a band playing, you might have this small faction paying attention, and the other faction was watching the TV, and the other faction were all in their phones, or looking around. Now it seems like that has kind of progressed where everybody's paying attention at least somewhat now, which is really exciting to see. Do you feel that same vibe?
I think that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, especially at the wineries, it's like at the wineries, you're more the focus. People are there, they're socializing, but they appreciate the music, and their applause after every song. So.
Yeah. That's exciting. That's exciting. And I think it's really helping to grow this scene even more. We felt there was a strong scene here that had been fractioned over the years, and now it's kind of redeveloping. And I mean, here's a prime example of the talent that is here, and you guys just kind of found that blossom in the last 2 years.
Right.
So, well, we wish you the best of luck with this. This is fantastic stuff that you have on the CD, and can you get these at the open mic?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay.
They're available at all our shows as well as the open mic. Yeah.
I love the design. Utah and I always are talking about the different designs, and you have an old chest here. What was the thought process? Where was the front picture taken?
Actually, I took the cover photos with my phone. That picture is taken in my daughter's driveway. I work for a company that's property preservation, so we go in and clean out houses. That chest came from one of the houses. Robin found the suitcase somewhere, and that's my guitar case. So I placed them in my daughter's driveway and took some pictures, and then I took them away. So the back cover, it's like it's given the vibe that we've left. So everything is there, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And then I turned it over to a graphic artist, and he kind of did the antiquing on it and so on.
Yeah, that's awesome. And your design, too, you have a microphone in Robin's R, and Bob, you with the guitar, which explains the duo, right?
Yep.
That's fantastic. It's a pleasure to meet you both here. I mean, Bob, good to have you back in, and Robin, great to meet you.
Thank you.
But to meet you as a duo here tonight, we appreciate you coming into the studio and sharing some of your talents. We have a couple of songs before you go, too. You're going to do another cut from the album that is called Some Will, and you mentioned Josh, who plays drums. He adds a little bit of different flavor on
adds
the song.
some guitar, some keyboards, This is more of I call it a Moby song. This is, the genres on the CD are all over the place, because we like everything. So it's like there's some country, there's some blues, there's some rock, there's a Moby-ish tune. So this is kind of off the wall as compared to everything else, but I think it has a good vibe to it, has a good groove.
Now, who was the songwriter for this, or the lyricist on this?
I did most of the lyrics on this one,
Okay, cool. And then you're going to do another live cut, and this is called Leavin' Shoes, which is actually the last cut on the actual album.
That's correct.
Give us a little background on that song.
We tend to have a theme of leaving, I guess, but we always come back. So
We do come back.
So it's just a song about hitting the road. And wanting to get away.
Okay.
And actually, it's the only song on the CD that we don't have other instruments on. It's just I'm playing a 12-string and she's singing, and that's it. And we did it live in the studio. There's no overdubs or anything on it.
Okay. So this is the real deal right here.
Right. Yep.
All right. Good to have you guys again. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Best of luck in the future. Hope people come down to the open mic and come out and see you guys. Hit them up on Facebook. It's Robin and Bob.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bob Giacometti, Robin Matthews, and here they are tonight as I throw the CD across the floor on the Rock Station 97.7.
Glory,
chase away these blues. Tomorrow morning I'll be gone before the dawn. You know a house can be a home when you have the urge to roam. Freeway, take me away. I'll be back again someday. Gonna lighten my load, gonna leave it on the road. The highway calls my name, east or west it's still the same. I'll put some miles between my troubles and me, see some things I ain't never seen, put my worries and my cares behind me, going where no one can find me. I'm putting on my leaving shoes, gonna chase away these blues. Freeway, take me